64-bit legends. Welcome.
Legend of the game, like GoldenEye, I'm more than right.
Yeah.
The perfect dark is dreams that seem to come to light. 64-bit, the shit, it's as real as it gets. We can talk sports, games, and music, take your pick. Point with the news, pull up and crack a brew. Smoke one with the crew, tune in and take a view.
Watch.
We here to raise the bar from the lowest mark. Sit your ass down and listen, it's time for the show to start.
My name is Bobby Caboose, and I'm a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Melvin Troy, and he's the chosen one, and you can't teach that. Bada boom, bada bing, realest podcast in the room. I fucked that up. 64-bit legends, welcome to another episode. How you doing?
Oh man, that came in powerful.
Yeah, I messed that up.
That's very powerful. No, it still works. It works.
Enzo and Big Cass intro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, considering the Royal Rumble that we just had on Monday, I think that's pretty fitting. So, I mean, we've been hyping this up. Last podcast we did, we had Sam W.O. in, we had Y2 Drew, and we talked about who we thought was going to be able to take it, who the big challengers was. And, I mean, the fact that
I lasted 16 seconds.
Well, there's that. You lasted 16 seconds in there. The number one least amount of time in the thing. You know what? I should have brought up the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I should have brought that up, which I'll grab here in just a minute. But
look, I wasn't ready.
Now, you know what?
I wasn't ready.
You came in at number one. There's a lot of pressure at being number one. And, you know.
Somehow I found myself next to the ropes and I just got clotheslined over.
Yeah, well, Big Mouth Billy Bass, he threw you out like, I mean, he's used to throwing stuff out like Trout, you know, and Bass.
I guess I was like a bottom feeder.
Yeah.
Shit, man. I expected more from myself.
I mean, the two big takeaways out of that is obviously Fat Boy Fat, a.k.a. Scott Gorge.
Yeah, he didn't have any shoes on.
No, he doesn't need it. He's too fat for shoes. What is he going to have, like a size 23 ultra wide?
I guess.
It'd cost a fortune. So, I mean, he came in with the win. And then, of course, I think, not to be forgotten, Sir Jared of the Swove.
Yeah.
Representing the Swove entirely. I didn't think he was going to be able to make it
Me
like
either.
that.
I didn't think the Swove was that powerful of a people.
No. Yeah, the Swove are not a people to be messed with. If it wasn't for one of the Samoa Joes, he would have stayed in there a bit longer.
Yeah.
So the Samoa Joe project was really making representing their power accurately.
The Samoa Joe project, I think it was B32 Omega.
Yeah.
He was the most powerful.
Yeah.
Out of the three Samoa Joes. But in the real Royal Rumble, at least I won money.
That's true. That's true.
I had Bianca Belair. She came in, I believe, at number 3.
I'm a little upset that I didn't win like I was planning on.
I mean, this is the first year in, 3 years that you haven't won?
I haven't won a bet on the Royal Rumble. You know, if for those that aren't familiar, it's $20.
Yep.
If you draw numbers, if your number of person takes it and wins, in your case, I don't know what number it was.
I think it was number 3.
Number 3. Wow, it lasted quite a while.
Yeah.
So, you know, you win the pot. In this case, it was probably, what, $140?
$120?
Something like that, yeah. So that's pretty good.
It's been buying my meals for the week.
Oh, that's, you know, I'm glad.
So.
I'm glad. I was planning on buying an Xbox, but I'll have to put that on hold for a while.
I mean, you bought one last year from Royal Rumble.
I did, but I wanted to get the new one, the Series X. I have the 1X now, and it's, you know, just a little bit of an upgrade.
Right.
I think it would have been appropriate, but, you know, I had some loser that I can't even think of. It was in both of them. It was like, I don't know. It was like Ed Sheen or something, and there was like a
Ed Sheen.
A Larry Zbyszko. I don't know.
Larry Zbyszko.
It was something
Larry
like that.
Larry Zbyszko was in the Royal Rumble.
I was hoping Vince was going to come in. He still didn't make another Rumble
No.
appearance. I wish he'd get back out there.
Just a bunch of disappointments.
It is. It's you know, as disappointing as that one is, though, or that with the WWE Royal Rumble, the 64-bit Legend Royal Rumble, though, did not let me down.
That was super fun, and it's all leading up to the 64-bit WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's
So-
coming up in probably the end of the month.
Yeah,
or
check out Mondays because we will have the storylines continuing from the Royal Rumble to the road to WrestleMania,
Yeah.
all in the 64-bit legend universe.
Yeah. I'm looking forward. I'm sure there's some grudge matches there. I know that the Samoa Joe project was kind of feuding a little bit.
Yeah.
None of the MWO members
No, none
were
of them.
able to work together at all. There was no intersection there. The Big Shit Kid, I'm sure someone's going to want to take him down because he came out powerful.
Yeah, Robert.
Yeah, Robert did pretty well. I mean, the Fat Boy Lumen.
Yeah.
I mean, Fat Boy Fat took it. But the size and girth of the Fat Boys and Fat Boy Lumen's permed hair and the way he just threw people like darts, human darts.
Also, Fat Boy Fat, a.k.a. Scott Gorge,
Yeah.
was the first contestant of the 64 Bits of Love. We are in
Yes.
the month of February. That means love is in the air. Valentine's Day, everything else to do with love and romance. We're going to find one lucky lady, the love of her life, hopefully, in 28 different contestants. And Scott Gorge, we found out his real name.
Yeah.
Was the first contestant.
Yeah, he did. I mean, that was his prize, was to be able to be the first one out there. So far, I mean, a few people, we're on day...
We're on day 6.
Day 6, so we've had 5 people. The 6th one hasn't dropped yet
Yeah.
today. But that will just...
But by the time you listen to this, you will see
Varsity Stew.
Varsity Stew.
So another familiar face
Yeah.
making it to the 64 Bits of Love.
There's Varsity Stew. There's Scott Gorge. There is Barry Crestison.
Barry
Ruth Crestison.
Ruth Crestison.
Sorry.
Sleepy Boy.
Daryl Finnegan.
Daryl Finnegan. Yep.
And Phil Pryback.
Phil Pryback.
He came straight from the nursing home, I think.
Or
the senior center.
He has a goal in mind, and he's not afraid to spend money to get it.
Yeah.
Oh, and let's not forget about I thought was a celebrity entry, but it's not. Fucking Brad Lee.
Oh, yeah.
Cooper.
Brad Lee Cooper.
Yeah.
How could I forget about Brad Lee Cooper?
Which, by the way, he's tearing up TikTok right now. Like, Phil Pryback dominated on Instagram, but on TikTok, I'm going to get the official stat here for Brad.
He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
He says he gets confused for Brad Lee Cooper all the time, but he's Brad Lee Cooper.
Yeah. Kooper.
Yeah.
Brad.
The Coops.
Space Lee. Space.
It's crazy that he had similar stories, though. I mean, he lost a friend in Vegas.
Yeah.
He had his fiance taken from him by a guy that crashes weddings.
Yeah, that's a lot of coincidence here.
You know.
A lot of... I don't know, like...
Next thing he's gonna tell me is he lives in Albania and he's an arms dealer.
That if that's what he does, we should have asked.
Yeah, we should have asked.
Because
maybe our lovely lady that's gonna be on our program will ask him that important question.
Perhaps. I can only hope she asks it, because you don't want to get involved with an Armenian or Albanian arms dealer,
Right?
If you're not aware of it, because all kinds of crazy shit can go down.
I mean, countless things, countless.
But
I don't even know what language they speak over there.
It's like it's like some sort of
Albanese?
European thing. I don't know. Yeah, maybe Russian. I don't know. But this weekend is you go from Royal Rumble. I mean, the last 7 days there's just been so much going on. You had WWE Royal Rumble last Sunday.
The 64-bit Legend Royal Rumble on Monday.
Yep. And then now you have the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Or AKA the big game. I'm not sure if we're allowed to say Super Bowl.
I'm calling it the Super Bowl.
All right, we're calling it the Super Bowl.
I don't...
So there are a ton of shit that you can bet on for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Now, I remember we talked last week about I'm going to follow your bets.
Yes.
Because you've been really crushing it on the online
I've been
gambling.
trying. Today, actually, I've been very aggressive to try to get to a certain dollar amount. I will probably fall short of that dollar amount for tomorrow, but I'll be in a good place. But I was really aggressive today. But I wrote down about 7 bets already.
Okay.
That I am going to put money on. There's going to be a couple different things that I put more or less money amount on, so I haven't like determined the amount, per bet. But some of the bets that I am going through is the coin toss. I mean, you can both just kind of discuss that. Whether you think it's heads or tails, it's a 50-50 odds, whatever. The national anthem, the over-under, it's set, I think, at a minute 59. That sounds a little high for the national anthem.
A minute 50? How long is it usually? What's the average?
That's what I got to look up because that seems high. So I want to go under.
I mean... But
they do have two people singing it. It's like a duet.
Why do we need two?
I don't know. It's a guy and a girl. I forget who they are. I'm taking the over 56 combined points for the score.
Okay.
I'm gonna take that. This is a parlay. This will pay out a little bit more. Both teams score over 24.5 points.
Okay.
There will be a flea flicker.
What the hell? What is it? What is a flea flicker? What is that?
I want to know what you think a flea flicker is.
Flea flick. Well, I mean, I'm pretty like literal. Like I'm imagining somebody like it's got to be something similar where like you flick a flea off, like get out of here, you. Like get out of here. So it's like I'm assuming like a quarterback is just like kicking someone off the team, like get out of here, you. You're making me itch. You're encroaching on my quarterbacking. Get out of here.
Giving me jock itch.
Yeah, get off my shit, bro.
A flea flicker is a trick play where you hand it to the running back and he acts like he's going to run and he throws it back to the quarterback and the quarterback throws it downfield.
Okay.
So Tom Brady has done this before as a Patriot. I think they're going to try to pull it off as a Buck. So,
because he's on the Bucs now.
I will. I'm gonna just place a little bit of money on that because the odds for that is like plus 300. So if you put $100 on, you win $300. If you put like $50 down, you win 150. You basically triple your money.
Okay.
So put a little bit of money on that. The next one is another parlay. I'm taking that Brady and Mahomes both throw for 2 touchdown passes at least.
Okay.
And have at least 35 pass attempts. So they have to throw the ball 35 times each. Is
that reasonable?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's very doable. I don't think the teams are going to be running much. Somebody said something about the weather, but I don't think the weather is going to play a factor. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. They're going to be moving up and down the field.
Where's the Super Bowl this year?
Tampa.
Okay, guess what? I figured as much.
So, and then the last bet that I have written down here is that each team will score at least 11 points in each half.
Each 11 points in each half. Now, 11 points would then be, though, like
a touchdown and 2 field goals or 2 touchdowns.
Okay. In each half. Okay.
So, like I said, I'm going for a high-scoring game.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you're going to go for a high-scoring game, you might as well go for that one.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to buy into that. You can't measure it because.
So it's going to be, very productive day, I think.
Yeah.
Or if it's low scoring, then we may not.
Now, how much money are you setting aside for these bets? Like, if you were to add up all your bets, like, what is going to be at risk for the day?
Well, since I plan on winning some and probably losing some, you're not going to win everything.
Right.
So I'm probably going to bet anywhere from $800 to $1,000.
$800 to $1,000 total with all the bets included.
Yeah.
And then now it's the Bucs obviously versus
the Chiefs.
The Chiefs, that's right, the Chiefs.
Your boy Mahomes versus your boy Brady.
So which sometimes they get confused as chefs.
Yes.
But
I remember that commercial when he's painting the end zone. Yeah. He's like, it looks great, but who's the chefs?
Yeah.
It's that eye.
But see, now I'm also gonna do a bet on top of all those. I'm gonna match you on those. I'm gonna match a percentage. So you're saying about $1,000. I'm probably gonna do 50% of whatever you're doing, like $500 total. I'm gonna put in matching on all those, with the exception of I'm gonna put my money, at least $100, on the Bucs to win.
Are you gonna take the spread? Or are you going to take the money line?
What's the difference?
Okay, so the spread, you're going to get 3 points.
Okay.
So you're gonna be plus 3 with the Bucs, but your $100 will only win you like $90. So you'll walk away with $190. If you take the money line, I believe the last time I checked was about $160. So if you bet $100, you'll win $160. So you'll walk away with $260.
Now, but what's the difference? Like the one has to have just slightly more points than the other. Or?
So the spread, you get that 3 points. So if the Chiefs win by 1, 2, or if they win by 1 or 2, you win.
Okay.
If they win by 3, you push, you get your money back.
Oh.
But if you bet money line, then you don't get those 3 points, and the Bucs have to win.
They just got to win, period.
Yes.
There's no little like,
Yes.
oh, it was so close.
Yes.
So even, yeah, all right.
So if you think the Bucs are going to win outright, you might as well take the money
That's
line.
what I'm doing because I am so I've been calling it for years.
For
that
like
the Bucs
for like 15 years.
That the Bucs were going to take it to the Super Bowl. I knew this moment was coming. There's people that we know I wish I still talk to. So I could tell them, finally, that all of this doubt that has been shrouded around me about, the Bucs. I say it every beginning of every football season in like September.
You act like there's only one Super Bowl and it's like 6 years away. And you're like, they're getting there.
Yeah.
They're going to get there.
They're going to get there.
But it's every year, and they haven't gotten there ever since you've been saying until this year.
They're going to get there. Well, they're going to get there. They're here now. And I've been calling this. I have been calling this.
But a lot of so I listen to sports talk radio during the week, and there is a lot of shit going against the Chiefs, like heading up to this game.
Yeah.
Like, okay, for example, it's just weird shit. Like, like Brady is going for number 7.
Yep.
He's at home. It's the first time a home team has ever hosted the Super Bowl. One of the coaches for the Chiefs got a DUI the other day.
Oh.
And who knows his status.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, normally the away team would arrive about a week early. They didn't arrive until yesterday.
Oh.
So there's a lot of things that are COVID.
Yeah.
All this shit. It's a weird year.
I'm telling you, though, Father Buck, who owns the Bucs, for those that don't know.
Apparently.
He's...
So his father Lion owned the Lions?
No, isn't it the Fords own the Lions? Like,
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
Stupid me, right?
Yeah. Father Buck has, he's been nurturing this team for a long time.
What does Father Buck look like? Does he look like John Candy?
No. You're thinking Uncle Buck.
I know.
No,
I
Father Buck.
I thought he was in the Buck family.
No, Father Buck. First of all, Father Buck is a very generous. He's a philanthropist. Like he's all about giving back to the community. He's very wealthy. He does a fantastic Christmas parade.
Is this just Santa?
Fantastic Christmas parade. That's not Santa. This is Father Buck. You're thinking of Saint Nick. That's two different people. Okay, Father Buck. He has a wonderful.
Is Saint Nick and Father Buck the same person, but he changes to Santa Claus during Christmas?
That'd be crazy. What are you? I mean, come on.
I'm just trying to figure this out.
No, he has a fantastic Christmas parade every year. He throws candy corn and pennies to the children at the parade.
He throws pennies at children.
Yeah. Well, because it's like buy some more candy. Plus, here's some candy corn that I know you kids love.
Candy corn sucks.
Candy corn is the best. It's
candy
one of the best
corn
candies
fucking
ever.
blows.
No,
and it's never wrapped.
It doesn't need to be wrapped. That's why it's so good. That's why it's
people just throw it in your Halloween basket or bag, and you just eat it with no wrapper. It's fucking gross.
No, it's fantastic. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm glad I'm eating this candy corn that was touching your shit hands.
That's the magic of candy corn is that it doesn't carry germs.
Oh.
What we needed to do if
COVID.
If Fauci would have said, listen, take candy corn, make a mask, wear it, you're safe. Father Buck's been pushing that for years. So anyway, he's got this great Christmas parade. He's been nurturing the Bucs ever since they had Wes Evans or whatever his name was.
Who the hell's Wes Evans?
He was like their quarterback. Him and like fucking Warren Sapp.
Okay, I gotta look up Wes Evans. Who the fuck is Wes Evans?
Wes Evans, Bucs. Bucks.
Well, that's what I'm looking up. Wes
So
Evans, Bucs.
anyway, and Warren Sapp, they were like the dynamic duo.
Mike Evans is a receiver now.
Oh, that's his brother.
There's no Wes Evans.
It's a dynasty.
There's no.
It's a dynasty.
There's no Wes Evans.
It's fucking. Well, he probably is like they probably wiped him because he's very conservative. I think he might have got wiped out with all like that parlor stuff.
He got canceled?
Yeah, he got a little canceled. I mean, he was back in the day with him and Warren Sapp were like this. Tight.
Wes Evans.
Then things got a little crazy, got too much into politics, and he got canceled.
And now Warren Sapp's just doing those Neutrogenic commercials.
Yeah, him and Doug Flutie. Let me tell you that. Wes Evans, Doug Flutie, Warren Sapp, they were a trio you didn't want to mess with. They would dominate the field. Maximum Football, that's where they got the name. Okay? Those three. So Father Buck goes to these guys, the three horsemen of the fucking football apocalypse.
Well, now it's an apocalypse?
Yeah, because they're dominating. So he's like, listen, what's the key to get these Bucs to the Super Bowl? And they told him, and they outlined it. This happened for years. I started telling you about this probably in 2014. That the Bucs were going to take it. Everybody just shrugged me off like, oh, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. Here we are today. They had to wait.
It only took 7 years.
Well, Tom Brady was an integral part of that, but he kept putting it off the trade. He didn't want to get traded to the Bucs. So now he's there at the prime of his career.
The prime of his career? He's like 43 years old or some shit.
He's got the experience. He's got experience. He's fucking, he's seasoned.
But some of the other side bets, like some of the other prop bets that are out there is, will Bitcoin go up or down during the Super Bowl?
Really?
Will they mention Tom Brady's 10th Super Bowl appearance or his age first? Will they mention Trump? Will they mention Biden?
Biden, it will.
Will they, what was the other ones I saw? Will they show Giselle how many times?
Who's Giselle?
That's Tom Brady's like billionaire wife who's a model.
Gotcha.
What other ones were there?
Actually, here's my quote. I'll even put something on the Bitcoin one. I know for a fact Bitcoin will go down because people are going to cash out Bitcoin to put bets on. And so what that is they have to sell it. And it's not that the value of Bitcoin is technically being devalued, but it always takes a drop on Sundays. And especially if there's going to be a gamble.
Well, then we can add that to our bets.
Yeah, because I would take that. I would take it that it's going to go down.
Because like the favorite is going up, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's people that are.
But it's probably just sucker bet.
Yeah, that's a sucker bet. That's people that don't really pay attention to it. It's just those are probably the same people that are still buying GameStop. Which, by the way, I don't think we talked about this. Happened this week.
Well, what's GameStop at right as closed Friday?
Hold on.
Actually, that's a prop bet too. If they will mention GameStop during the Super Bowl,
good one. Okay.
That's like plus 400.
Really?
And one of the prop bets is that's why I want to ask you what the stock is at.
Okay.
Because I thought it was at like 90 or maybe 60.
Let me open up my account here. So I bought in. It was on the dip, right? They say buy the dip. It went from like 400 was its peak for GameStop. I bought it at $90. Market open, $90. I'm like, get me in there because everybody's wanting to buy this thing. Closed out that day at 50. Now it's gone up a little bit. As of Friday evening, end of market, $63.77.
So
I think it's going to go down.
There's a prop bet that the Kansas City Chiefs will have less rush yards than 63 because it's the GameStop closing. Okay. But the Kansas City Chiefs are going to get more than that, more rush yards than that.
Yeah.
And there's not an option to go over. It's just that's the bet. Like GameStop stock will be over the total rush yards, so it's not a good bet.
Okay. I see. I was gonna say, like, how do you tie that into football? Like,
dude, there's tons, man. Like, it ties every sport in. Like, it ties. You can get bets that, like Michigan State 3-pointers today. Like their 3-point attempts would be like more than the total score that the Bucs get tomorrow. So if they shot like 25 3-pointers today, doesn't matter if you make them or not. they shot 25 and the Bucs scored 24, you'd win.
Okay.
But the Super Bowl, you can bet on fucking anything.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. But that's why I wanna dip my toes into these bets now.
Right.
Because you mentioned last time, overall, since you started doing this regularly,
Yeah.
you were up, what, $5,000?
It's dipped a little bit, so about 4 now.
$4,000? Well, yeah, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Your average is $4,000 for it's been
Couple months.
7 months.
Yeah.
That you've been doing. Okay. I mean, that's still pretty good. That's
Yeah.
still like $500 a
dude,
month.
I probably placed 12 to 13 bets today.
Okay.
So, I mean, Saturday today I have a lot of action as far as college basketball, so
Yeah.
that's a little bit more than usual, but I mean, if I'm doing it that much a day and I'm still up that much, I think I'm doing all right.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you're like making smart bets, but
Yeah, sometimes I chase. Today, like I said, I was very aggressive because I wanted to get to a certain dollar amount, but I'm
can't.
good enough.
You gotta. Well, I was told back years ago when I
You got to know when to hold them.
yeah, no one to hold them, no one to fold them. But I was also told, this is when I worked in finance, I was told numbers and money follow, they never lead. So just take that little nugget and put that along with me telling you about the Bucs 6
All right.
years ago, because it's going to make it. It's a seed. I'm planting a seed.
And that's the only reason I'm not taking the Chiefs, by the way, is
What?
because I don't want to bet against you.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. Because if I don't want to bet against you, I don't want to have one of us win and one of us lose. So that's why I'm not betting on the game. I'm telling you my bets,
Okay.
and I'm gonna
So
let you have your Bucs.
So you're not confident though in the Bucs.
I'm not confident in either team
Oh, okay.
because, and this is an unpopular opinion,
Yeah.
but I do think certain games are fixed
Oh, yeah.
or in a certain way.
Yeah.
And just like my brother said, man, like money rules everything around us. Cash rules everything around us. Cream,
Yeah.
get the money, dollar bills, y'all. But it's just like a marketing company or anyone in like a corporate market.
Mm-hmm.
These people that are doing these things are way smarter than you and I.
Yeah.
Right? So the money is gonna be there. Like, if say you lose, say Vegas or whoever loses a certain amount of money in one aspect of the game,
Yeah.
they're gonna make up somewhere else. They're not gonna lose.
Well, yeah, it's like the stock market.
Right.
Yeah.
So whether it's fixed or because dude, one holding call in a football game could change the entire game.
Yeah.
So, who fucking knows? And there's been weird incidences. And like today, for example, when I was betting, I lost like 3 games by a half a point. Like they're pretty goddamn accurate.
Yeah, that's I mean I believe there's probably a little bit of fixing that goes on in sports. There's got to be it's a temptation is too much,
Yeah.
right? You just gotta there's got to be something. Plus, to make the brand relevant, and I complain about this all the time because I don't watch sports on a regular
Right.
basis. But when I see that they got to fucking shoehorn a story in, you know what I mean? It's about a game.
It's a storyline.
And it just drives me crazy.
It's
like-
WWE, dude.
yeah,
It really is.
They're just like there was that one you were watching. I forget what it was, where it was like 2 different players on 2 different teams grew up in the state of California, 500 miles away from each other, and they say it like they lived in each other's backyards.
It was Brady and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, they've from similar humble beginnings. Like they went to the same school, 500 miles away from each other. It's
18 years apart.
yeah, it's
Or whatever the fuck. But
okay.
But the thing is too is okay, so there's certain things like Peyton Manning, you know who Peyton Manning is.
Yeah.
He was probably at the time the most, and he still is one of the most decorated quarterbacks of all time, right?
Yep.
In the times that we live in, it's not like the 70s, 80s, or 90s where media itself and technology is so much more advanced that you can go on the internet, see anything in a second, blah blah blah. More news and more media is just fed to us, right?
Yeah.
On a second basis, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, Peyton Manning goes to Denver for the last 2 years of his career, right? Mm-hmm. He goes to the Super Bowl the first year and gets fucking destroyed, right?
Yeah.
Seattle fucking destroys him. The next year, he announces that he's going to be retiring after this year, right? He's the face of Papa John's, who's also got to deal with the NFL. Mm-hmm. He's on State Farm commercials, got to deal with the NFL. He's got a couple other fucking this and that. Likable guy. Statistically, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. And he announces that he's going to retire after this year. I was telling everyone, I was like, Denver is going to win the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. What happened? Denver fucking wins the Super Bowl. So, going on that theory, this year, Tom Brady, everyone's calling him the GOAT, right?
Yeah.
He's got 6 Super Bowls, most of all time.
Okay.
First time ever a team is hosting a Super Bowl is playing in it.
Right.
He's going for number 7. He's versus what they're calling the baby GOAT is Mahomes, because everyone thinks Mahomes is going to be the next big thing. He's already got a Super Bowl. He won one last year. He's won a Super Bowl and an MVP, and he's not even 25 years old yet.
Okay.
So the storylines are, is it going to be passing the torch from Brady to Mahomes?
Right.
Or is Mahomes or is Brady going to get his 7th? I think, and this is based on nothing factual. This is just my opinion and storyline, right? So Brady loses this year. Mm-hmm. Mahomes is going to win. It's like a passing of the torch. Mahomes wins. Brady's going to win next year because it's going to be the Peyton Manning thing where he's going to have one more year. They get it. They may even have a rematch in the Super Bowl, and Brady wins it and sets off into the sunlight.
So you're saying the Bucs are going to be able to take it to the Super Bowl twice
in a row, yeah.
As much as I want to, but you might be onto something.
And this is based on WWE/NFL storyline. Because it writes itself, dude. It's unbelievable, like how some of the shit like just falls into place. And someone that we used to would thought I was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, dude, like I could have told you Peyton Manning was gonna win this shit, and on his last year, and he did, and it was like there was no doubt about it.
Well, he was. I think the same person was also mad because you had an idea that you were going to live stream yourself walking to Florida.
Yeah, that too. Which still, I think, okay. So, the backstory on that. If you marketed it correctly, it doesn't matter who it is.
Oh yeah,
because it's fucking Forrest Gump at that point.
Yeah.
If you market it correctly, if I had. Not that I'm going to do it, but if I had a year in advance, now I got a little platform for the 64-bit legends,
Yeah.
If I had a year in advance and I kept being like, hey, next year, March, I'm going to walk down to Florida from Michigan.
Yeah.
Put a GoFundMe out there, start streaming every day my training because you got to have to be somewhat in shape.
Right.
And just do that. I think I could get up to $1 million in donations.
You probably could. I mean, over the course of I don't know how long.
Especially if I do it a cause.
Yeah, if you do it for a cause, for sure, that's for sure. And on top of that, people would want to watch because it'd be like, how are you staying in hotels?
Right.
Are you just camping out?
Right.
Like, how are you walking? You just walking on the side of the freeway? Like, how would you walk that far? Like, you'd have to route it out. There's somebody that we knew that rode his bike all the way from Michigan down to Arkansas.
Yeah, and it took him 2 weeks.
Yeah. And I remember he had a little GoFundMe. I remember I threw some money in there. And then he ended up getting his bike stolen, so he had to buy another one. So I think there's something, and I think that's what brought up the discussion, if I remember correctly, was because he was riding.
It could have been.
He had just ridden his bike down there, and then you're like, well, fuck it, we could probably... you could probably make some good money just doing the Forrest Gump thing.
Because the thing is, too, is like you said, people would want to tune in to see, what are you eating every day? Where are you eating? Are you eating on the go? Where are you sleeping? All that. And if you live stream the entire thing, you're like, all right, well, you won't miss any of the action of me walking. You're not going to see me sleeping or taking a shit.
Yeah.
But from, my first step out this house to my destination in Florida, you're gonna see it.
That would be. I mean, it would be pretty epic because. And the thing is, you'd have to you just got to wear a backpack, right? So you're carrying around your backpack. You probably got a couple phones with you, charging banks. You got to have some money on you, of course. What else would you got to? Here's the thing: clothes. Now, here's what I would do. Let's go with the thought experiment. If you were to do this, you'd what I would do if I were to do it. Backpack, couple phones, probably about three or four phones. Because if you're going to stream, you got to stream it from your phone, right? So you got to have one to go, and then you got to have a charging brick to charge the other ones on the go, and then you got to swap them out every so often. Because the idea is you don't want to even if you're sleeping, you want it streaming. You know what I'm saying?
I would say you give probably 6 to 8 hours non-streaming because of sleep.
I mean, you could do that. I want them. If I did it, I would do it.
I mean, I would stream, be like, this is where I'm sleeping tonight, and make sure you wake up.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, well, he just said that and he went into a hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe you're right. But
because then you could charge everything at night.
Yeah.
You could have everything ready.
Yeah, you'd have. But what I would do is
in case you fucking talk in your sleep or have a wet dream, it's not on fucking camera.
But what I would do is I'd probably bring 2 pairs of clothes.
2 phones. You'd bring Kevin Gates?
I would bring Kevin Gates. He'd be right on my back. No, I'd bring a couple pairs of clothes and warm or attire for all weather. Now, I would do it in the summertime in Michigan because it would probably only take you a month to get down there, maybe a little longer depending. And you're going south, but you got rain.
Yeah,
you never know. You get a lot of wind or something, but you'd walk down there. I would carry my essentials. It would be just a package of everything, cheap, fucking Fruit of the Loom t-shirts, underwear, whatever. And then I wouldn't even wash it. I'd throw it out, and I would just I'd find a Walmart and buy another package.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea because then you're traveling light.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to take a backpack, so that's going to be on your back the entire time.
Yeah. And then you get you just get a phone, you strap it in, you talk to the people, or you listen to some music or whatever, listen to podcasts, watch YouTube videos. I mean, I think it would be if I had the money, if I had the ability, I didn't have a job or something, and I had the income still, I would do that. I would say fuck it. It's a month and a half probably to do that, and I think it'd be interesting to do.
And then, like the person that we know that rode his bike down there, you have a fucking story for life.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn cool. And that's probably why you've donated to him, because you're like, oh, that's, who fucking does this?
Well, that guy's got a bunch of stories anyway.
Right.
Joining the carnival.
Yeah. Fucking ran off to the circus. He brought a fucking kitchen knife in a holster to a fight.
Wait a minute. This sounds familiar. What was
he had a duct tape holster. And he put a kitchen knife in it. His younger brother got in a fight.
Oh, okay. I remember this now.
He got in a fight with 3 Asians at the mall, and I believe he broke a skateboard over someone's head. This guy's fucking nuts.
But you know what? As crazy as that is, I don't have that story.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking create a sheath for my kitchen knife. I didn't join the circus. No, that's something that I look at and I think is really important as I'm getting older. Is time is there's only so much time you have. I know
it's like a one of those things that you flip over with the sand.
Yeah,
What's
the
it called?
hourglass.
Hourglass.
Yeah, the hourglass. I see the sand is halfway done for me almost, and it's there's so many things that I want to do.
So many things.
Yeah, and I think one of them is to walk. Live stream
to listen to Endless Love in the Dark.
That too. Now, one of my dreams is coming true tomorrow. The Bucs are going to the Super Bowl, and I think they're going to win it. It all ties together.
I mean, that would fit one of the storylines.
Yeah.
I mean,
now I think here's going back to what you're saying now about the football storylines and being rigged or whatever. Now, my gut feeling of knowing Father Buck and the three
Stooges,
the 3 horses of the apocalypse for football: Warren Sapp, Doug Flutie, and
Wes Evans. You can't even remember the fucking name.
It was Wes Evans. I was going to confuse it with his cousin Mitch, but anyway.
Mitch Evans?
Yeah.
There's a Mike Evans.
Yeah, there's him too, but it's like it's a dynasty. So going back to that, I know that from what I understood, they're supposed to win it this year. Now, maybe to your credit, maybe part of the deal was, listen, we're not going to win it. Okay, we're gonna lose, but we're gonna come back the next year.
Right.
Tom Brady takes the win there.
Brady versus Mahomes too.
Yeah, he gets to go into the sunset, and Father Buck gets to go into his sunset, knowing he's finally won the Super Bowl.
I'll give you a little backstory on why I think the NFL is the way it is.
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions, right? Unsuccessful franchise.
Right.
They're, pretty much the laughing stock of the NFL. Mm-hmm. They were in the playoffs a few years ago against the Dallas Cowboys. And there was a pass interference call, which means the Detroit Lions receiver, got hit by the defender before the ball was to him. So you can't interfere with the play. You have to be going for the ball. You can't just tackle the guy, so he can't catch it, right?
Right.
They throw the flag for the penalty, and the ref picks it up. No call. Okay. Everyone's like, that's kind of strange. You never see that, right? Same game, the announcers, and I remember this clear as day, they said, would you rather see next week the Lions versus Seattle, which if the Lions would have won, they would have played Seattle, or do you want to see the Cowboys versus the Packers? And they're like, I think I answer that for all of us when I say the Cowboys versus the Packers, because the Cowboys are America's team.
Right.
And the Packers, as far as NFL teams, the Packers have probably the most fans that are outside of Wisconsin or Green Bay.
Yeah.
They're just a popular team around the country. So, they're two of the most popular teams. And, unless you're in fucking Detroit, you don't want to see them against Seattle,
Yeah, no, that's true. I could see that.
So, and for them to say that on national TV, and then the way the game played out, it was.
Has there been anybody that's alluded to that theory that it's rigged? Because I just know.
Not that I'm aware of.
It sounds believable to me, but here's the one thing that out of any conspiracy theory I ever hear, is that people generally are bad at keeping secrets,
right?
And there's a lot of incompetence when you're dealing with large organizations, and so that's where I go, because I'm like,
but again,
I believe it, but
again, there's like my brother said, there's people way smarter than us dealing with this shit. You know, like they're the ones controlling it, and we would never know. Even the players may not even know.
True.
I mean, the referees could get one call and they might have to sign an oath or whatever. Who fucking knows? But
I just imagine them like in a fucking in like a dark cave with hoods on, like the dark striped
fucking blood oath,
striped. Yeah, they're taking the oath of the ref. It's like a fucking secret society.
I mean, it does sound ridiculous, and it could be, but there's certain things that happen that you're like, what the fuck, man? Like, how did that happen? Or how did Vegas know?
Yeah,
this, it just weird.
That's true.
And the fact that I think only about a third of the NFL teams have ever won a Super Bowl. Out of 30 teams.
That is weird. Yeah,
and this is like the 50th Super Bowl.
Yeah, out of the fact that the Lions
maybe
are just
half.
Perpetual losers for almost the entire existence of the NFL.
Of the Super Bowl. So the Lions won the last two NFL championships.
Okay.
I believe it was the last two. Before it was named the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And then Bobby Lane cursed the Lions for 50 years because they traded him. So he's like, you're not going to win another championship for another 50 years when they traded him. And the Lions haven't.
I love the fucking sports superstitions. Like, they're always,
like the Billy Goat and the Cubs.
I don't know what that is, but I'm sure
the Cubs,
just as ridiculous.
So the Cubs didn't win for 100 years, right? They won the World Series the year after Back to the Future said they would, right?
2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Billy Goat one was like there was like this fucking magician or whatever. He wanted to go see a fucking Cubs game in like 1916, right?
Okay.
And he tried to bring his Billy Goat into the stadium, and they wouldn't allow it. So apparently he put some fucking hex on him.
This guy, and it worked.
Yes.
Out of all the hexes you could do,
Yep.
this one actually
like
worked.
even like the Bartman thing. You've seen the Bartman thing.
But the part where he catches
yeah.
the fucking
Yeah.
foul ball.
Yes. And it wasn't even him, by the way. He wasn't even the one that got the ball, and like people were just started fucking hating on him. They put his fucking number and where
Oh
he
my
worked
God.
and his address in the newspaper. Well, a bar around Wrigley Field,
Yeah.
a bar bought that ball, right, for like $110,000. And they put it in this little box and they blew it up because they didn't want the curse.
You know, there's times when you look at civilization as of today. You're like, man, we've come such a long way. We used to live in like caves, hunting mammoths and shit. We didn't even know what fire was at one point, just covered in hair. And then we built like cities, and there's the Greeks and the Romans, and then Europe and the colonialization and what all the achievements the Chinese and Asians have done. And you're just like, we've come so far. Look at this technological infrastructure we have. And yet we still will say, ball cursed, blow it up in order to fucking have my team win.
Well, I'm just saying, man. I'm guessing the Romans or the Mayans or the Incas didn't like say no to a guy with a billy goat.
Probably not.
They were probably like, "Come on in."
Like, I just
You know?
love that still exists. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's one of the things that always I always like turned me off of. Well, there's a lot of things that turned me off of sports growing up, but that was always one of them. Was like when I would hear about the crazy fucking like these not even conspiracy. They're like superstitions.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, he's been he cursed this team forever, so there's no point in rooting for it. It's like. Isn't it just like a game where it's like if you strive to achieve, then you can
Or like
overcome it?
the Red Sox had the curse of the Bambino because they
yeah.
they traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees.
It's just like, and you know what? I honestly think these curses exist, but they don't exist as a curse.
They're mental.
Yes, they put this thing of like, well, we're cursed, so there's no point in
Yeah.
even trying to win, and then they just hold themselves back. It's the same thing of like those people that are perpetual losers. Like,
Yeah.
the whole world's against me. I just can't get it. Like I've worked with a lot of people that are perpetual losers like that, and they're always like, see, anytime something goes wrong, they're like, see, I'm right. Everything always goes against me. And then when things go good, all they do is they just get in their head, and they're like, I'm just waiting for it to happen. And then all of a sudden, it's like they're relieved that they're a loser.
It's the culture. It's the
Yeah.
culture and the environment that you surround yourself.
Yeah.
Because like the Lions have that too. Like, because like the Lions are always bad, or most of the time they're bad. And like the fans, like at least at sports talk radio and shit, they'll call up and they'll be like, "SOL, same old Lions."
Yeah.
When they fuck up. Well, okay, if you keep hearing that and you're a Lions player, you're like, yeah, we are gonna fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
you got to change the mentality of the team and the environment.
It gets me though. It's like when you're running a team, your job is to get them to win. So you would look and be like, what has this team been doing wrong? I mean, you can't strike out that many times. I understand you get into ruts. Maybe there's bad habits that form, but there's like, out of anything, you just got to look at your approach and be like, what are we doing wrong here? What are we doing what are we not doing that they're doing?
So the problem with the Lions is the ownership. Everyone
That's it?
says it's the ownership because they hire the wrong people. Like, the Fords are never going to sell that team.
Yeah.
So, when you have poor ownership who don't really care.
Yeah.
They hire the wrong people who hire the wrong people who get the wrong players who, it just like the moves that the Lions make, like one of their GMs for years was a guy that was on TV. He was just a color commentator, and they're like, "Oh, he sounds like he knows a lot about football. Let's hire him as a general manager." and he was the general manager for the Lions for like 10 years. And the Lions fucking sucked.
I wonder if it's just a tax write-off for Ford.
Probably.
It probably, because Ford is like a very large corporation.
Yeah.
It's like $1 billion company. So it's like a great tax write-off. Like, oh, if we lose, it probably keeps their budgets in line. Like if they win, then it'll start to like profit, and then now they have to pay taxes on that. Where if they lose, they'll be like, we spent all this money and we just, it's just this bottomless pit.
We'll just take it as a loss.
Yeah.
A
Like,
deduction.
yeah, it's like, oh man, that's fucking crazy. Because that's got to be what it is. There's got to be a logical sense. There's a logical reason, because I just don't believe in curses, and I don't believe that you, out of like 100 years, you can't find one coach or one owner to fuck, or not owner,
GM, general manager,
to fucking be like, listen, guys, this is what we're doing wrong. Like, you got to get it right. 1 out of 100, 1 year out of 100 years. Like in sales, if you get a 1% conversion, you can do. I mean, it's the same concept. When I've worked on teams with that, where it's like you could have months where you're sucking, and it's like, what are we not doing? There's a great speech in Any Given Sunday.
Yeah,
it ties together. I've not seen that whole movie, but I have seen this speech where fucking
Al Pacino.
Have you seen that movie?
Bits and pieces the same.
Okay, so there's a speech he does talk about inches. About every inch. You're just fighting for that next inch. And that's what it is. You're fighting for that next inch. And you're trying to get, and you're telling me out of 100 years you couldn't pick up 1 inch? You couldn't pick up 1.
So, on kind of on the same scale, the Lions did make a fucking amazing trade last week. They traded their fucking quarterback, Matt Stafford. He's finally fucking out of here. I fucking hate him. I can't stand him. I haven't been a fan of his for years. I'm glad him and his skank ass wife is out of here, because his wife's one of those fucking bitches who's never had a job in her life. Okay. He don't have any social media, so she's on Twitter and Instagram, and everyone that's like, Stafford fucking sucks, she has to stick up for him and says all this shit. And she's just a fucking trophy wife who has no fucking opinion, doesn't know fucking anything from anything. And I'm just glad they fucking got shipped to LA, and I won't have to fucking deal with them anymore. Or not personally, but
you say that like they're in your backyard all the time.
But
they're just like, they're always fucking up the yard.
Yeah, they are.
They're just
their dog's
parties.
always fucking barking. Like, get the fuck out of here. Take your skank ass hooker wife and get the fuck out. Because now we can play some mid 80s Joel. We got a bunch of draft picks for him and a decent quarterback. And the Lions are going to be turning the table soon. They got the right pieces in place.
All right.
They're going to be shitty for another 2 or 3 years, but after that, they will be. They were pretty good.
I'm not going to doubt you, because I've seen it happen with the Bucs.
And Kelly Stafford, you can go fuck yourself. She's a bitch, man.
You say that like she's personally wronged you.
Yeah, she has. She has.
Like stole your lunch one day or something.
She's the ultimate Karen.
Like this is why, like, I've listened to a lot of radio over the years, and I've tried to get into. I don't follow sports, so obviously I don't listen to much sports talk, but it always has interested me on how people take sports so personal.
Oh, I know.
Like I know you're joking, but at the same time, like I hear people on sports talk radio calling like, no, fucking, in this case, like Matt Stafford's wife has personally offended them.
She has.
And like ruined their Christmas or something.
She has. She fucking, Stafford will have a fucking horrible game, and then she'll be like, no, and blah, 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 and put her 2 cents in. Like, bitch, no one asked for your opinion. We go to social media because we want to voice our opinions about your fucking stupid ass husband who fucking can't throw a fucking pass and fucking win more than fucking 5 games in a season.
Oh God. Well,
but we do have a sponsor today.
Oh, yes, sponsors.
And I didn't even have to write it down because today's sponsor is the 64-Bit Legends Royal Rumble.
Yes.
So if you haven't checked out the Royal Rumble or what we did all January, check out our social media because we have 30 superstars like Varsity Stu, Big Shit Kid, Vampiro and Nun Man, the Fat Boys. We have Anubis, Robert T. the Monster's in it, myself, Melvin Troy, Sam W.O., the Samoa Joe Project is heavily influenced in it. And if you want to see the results of our first ever inaugural 64-Bit Legends Royal Rumble, check out Twitch and twitch.tv/Melvin Troy. And YouTube channel 64-Bit Legends, all one word. Subscribe. Go check out the results of the Royal Rumble. You will enjoy all the promos, all 30 promos. Duncan Smith's the Pony Brony. Who else am I forgetting?
Nun Man is my personal favorite. I gotta say.
Julio Sunrise. I am Nun Man. I do a pretty good impression of Nun Man, and I don't want your life, Varsity Stew. I can do a little bit of impressions. We got Jeff Wrestler looking for a job. So today's episode is brought to you by the 64-Bit Legends Royal Rumble. If you haven't checked it out or if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out our social media because it's all over the place, and I think you'll really enjoy those videos just like my parents did when I showed them this past week.
Yeah, what did your parents say about those?
My mom doesn't like the language, right?
Oh, okay.
So she's like, I don't give a fuck. She's like, did he?
That's Deuce. Deuce doesn't give a fuck.
I'll fuck you in the motherfucking ass. She didn't really care. She didn't even know that was me. It wasn't me. It was Scott Gorge. But my dad fucking loved it. She did notice that Sir Jared of the Swove was using her cane. Yeah,
well, I mean, it's a cane of royalty.
It is a cane of royalty.
So
it says "Love conquers death" on it.
Yeah, and he was putting those words into use on last Monday, it's interesting to see people's favorites and the reactions that people have been like. The feedback, I should say, has been very, very positive on it. Like I said, somebody went in my Discord. They posted it, the spreadsheet of the stats on this Rumble, and I wanted to bring it up before
time started, time eliminated. How many eliminations? It was probably quite impressive. So
let me bring it up. I'm gonna bring it up real quick, and I figure we can recap that.
Yeah.
Before we close it out here, I'm trying to load Discord as we speak. So, if we look here, hold on. Someone posted a bunch of cats, so I'm just like, everyone's like, look at my fat cat.
But yeah, let us. If you go on our social media, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, let us know who your favorite was.
Yes, absolutely.
Because if there's a few guys that are completely, over the top and compared to the rest, they may be reoccurring characters. Cock Davis. I think I named almost all of them. Red Colorado Kid.
Yeah, so I'm gonna read off some of the highlights here because he's got all of them. He went through. This is Max Rebo.
Yeah.
He's like, I think he's half cyborg or something.
Yep.
So, he put together this Google spreadsheet, and it's the time in. He's got time in ring, time out of ring. So as far as the ticker, as far as when it started, and then the total time that they were in there. And
that's how I knew I lasted 16 seconds.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It's not the first time I lasted that long.
That's the shortest. I'll give you the two shortest because we're not going to go through all those, but the two shortest. People that were in there the least amount of time. So we have obviously you. Take that one, and then outside.
You got to be memorable somehow.
No, that's very true. Vampiro only lasted 38 seconds.
That's because Nun Man wasn't there.
Yeah, you know the power.
I am Nun Man.
The power of the nun wasn't there. He's actually, and then the other one, 35 seconds. Anubis.
He was my favorite to win.
I know. Fatboy Lumen just beat the shit out of him.
He did.
It was Fatboy Lumen, and of course, Fatboy Fat took out Vampiro. Two longest reigning people in the ring. The top one, obviously, being Scott Gorge, a.k.a. Fat Boy Fat. 13 minutes.
Damn.
13 minutes, 32 seconds. Obviously,
Came in number 23.
yeah, the second place, this is how much of a difference there is. Second place, Samoa Joe B32 Omega, 9 minutes, 14 seconds. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Second, that's third place. Second place,
Sir Jared of the Swell.
Sir Jared of the Swell, 10 minutes, 50 seconds. And he was only eliminated by Samoa Joe B32 Omega. So, and Sir Jared just was, he kicked out, Sam Thunderdome, Uncle Roscoe, a.k.a. Willie George, or Willie Jones.
Willie Gorge.
Yeah, Willie Gorge, part of the Gorge family.
Lumen Gorge.
Yeah. And then Igor Maxim. But yeah, it's all right there in the so yeah, I would encourage if you have Discord, there's problem with Discord is I don't have like a link.
Right.
So you have to go to the Twitch channel and just click on the fucking Discord entry. But yeah, that's all that cool shit's in there as well. And I was just so impressed that someone watched it because he wasn't live in the stream. He watched back later, opened a spreadsheet that just took these notes down. So, but yeah, so and then this Monday, we're gonna continue on. We have another set of cards or a card. I don't know how do you say that?
Yeah,
a card.
Card subject to change.
Yeah, it's subject to change, but I know Fat Boy Fat will be
represented.
Active. Yeah, he'll be represented. And I believe some Samoa Joes.
Yep.
And perhaps even the MWO, but we'll see what the official lineup is by Monday.
Yep.
And
should be some exciting shit. We do some exciting shit on Mondays.
Yes. So Sam WO should be in with us.
Sam WO should be on commentary with us as well. Again. Mm-hmm. And if you don't tune in on Mondays, you should, because we have storylines, man.
Yeah.
Yes. A lot of shit happens on Mondays.
Yeah, there is a ton of shit. And then on top of that, we have the 64 Bits of Love.
64 Bits of Love.
Which we'll have to give a status update on Monday on.
Yeah, we'll have 3 more people by the time. We'll have Varsity Stew coming out tonight.
Yep.
And then 2 lucky other guys, or guys looking to get lucky.
Yeah, and hopefully they'll be able to find the love that they so desire.
Right.
Hopefully they're just not too proud to beg. That's all I got to say.
I mean, sometimes you can't go chasing waterfalls.
No.
You got to stick to the lakes and the rivers that you're used to.
Yep. That's the message of the day.
So until next time, all people at home, don't you dare be sour. Clap for the world's greatest podcast and feel the power.